Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that's on a lot of people's minds right now: how to navigate the unpredictable financial world of 2025. We've all seen the headlines: markets fluctuating, inflation at high levels, rising cost of living, and layoffs in certain industries. It feels like there's a storm brewing, but we're not sure just how bad it will get or when it will hit. The reality is, no one has a crystal ball, but there are steps we can take to prepare ourselves no matter what the future holds. Now, before you start feeling overwhelmed, let's take a breath. We're not here to just talk about doom and gloom, but rather to give you the tools and knowledge to prepare for the unknown. Whether it's an official recession, economic slowdowns, or even just a period of financial uncertainty, the key to weathering any storm is being proactive, informed, and financially prepared. So in this video, we'll break down everything you need to know about the current state of the economy and how you can ensure your finances are built to withstand any challenges that come your way. Stay tuned. Let's begin with, what is recession and why it matters? Recession. It's the word we've all been hearing lately, on the news, in articles, on podcasts, maybe even from your boss or friends. And let's be real, every time we hear it, it sounds scary. It makes people tighten their wallets, worry about their jobs, and wonder, is everything about to crash again? What is a recession really? In simple terms, a recession is when the economy slows down, and not just for a few days or weeks, but for several months or more. It's like the entire economic engine loses momentum. Technically, a recession means there's a widespread decline in economic activity. Fewer jobs, less spending, lower business profits, and more financial stress for everyone.
But look, you don't need to memorize the technical definition. What matters is how it feels. Stores selling less, companies freezing hiring, people losing jobs, and households cutting back. But how do we know when we're in one? Economists look at signals. If the economy shrinks for 2 quarters in a row, that's a red flag. But even before the experts officially call it, the signs usually show up in real life, long before any report says, recession confirmed.
Think of it like this. You don't need to check the thermostat to know it's cold. Sometimes you can just feel it. Same with a recession. Why it actually matters to you.
You might be wondering, okay, cool economics lesson, but how does this affect me? Here's how. Recessions don't just hit Wall Street. They hit your street. Companies cut jobs. That could be your job or someone in your family. Investments go down. Your savings, your retirement, your crypto, your stocks. Borrowing gets harder and more expensive. Credit cards, mortgages, car loans, and even everyday stuff like groceries, rent, and gas feels heavier on your wallet.
Before a recession hits, the economy usually drops a few hints. Kind of like how the sky gets dark before a storm rolls in. But the challenge? Not every dark cloud means rain, and not every slowdown means a full-blown recession. That's why economists, investors, and even everyday consumers are constantly watching for the signs, those little signals that, when you put them together, start to tell a bigger story. So, what are we seeing in 2025? Is the economy just cooling off after years of rapid growth, or are we standing at the edge of something bigger?
Let's talk about the first and most critical step to protecting yourself in a recession: building an emergency fund. Think of it as your financial life jacket. When the economy takes a dip, jobs get cut, hours reduced, unexpected expenses pile up, you don't want to be scrambling. That's where your emergency fund steps in. The golden rule? Aim to save 3 to 6 months worth of essential expenses. Rent, groceries, utilities, transportation. Cover the basics. This isn't your vacation money. This is your break glass in case of emergency fund. Quick tip, start small. Even $500 or $1,000 can be a lifesaver. Set up automatic transfers every time you get paid. Treat your savings like a bill you must pay. And remember, keep this fund in a high-yield savings account. You want it accessible, but not too easy to dip into for non-emergencies. If a recession hits, and it might, you'll thank yourself for being prepared.
When people talk about preparing for a recession, the first thing that comes to mind is usually cutting expenses or saving more. And while those are important, there's another strategy that can make a huge difference: diversifying your income. Here's the reality. Most of us rely on one paycheck, one employer, one job, and in stable times that might feel secure. But when the economy starts to shake, that one source of income can suddenly feel like a trap door waiting to open. Layoffs, reduced hours, budget cuts, it can all happen fast. And if that paycheck disappears, what's left? That's where multiple income streams come in. Think of it like this. If your main job is one leg of a table, what happens when that leg breaks? The whole thing falls. But if your income is coming from several different legs, say freelance work, a small online shop, rental income, or even something like teaching a skill on the side, then losing one doesn't wipe you out. You still have support. And no, this doesn't mean you need to burn yourself out juggling 5 jobs. It just means being smart about creating different ways for money to come in. Maybe it's picking up a few freelance gigs using a skill you already have, or renting out your car on weekends. Maybe it's finally launching that Etsy store or starting a YouTube channel of your own. These don't need to replace your main income. They just need to supplement it. Even something small done consistently can grow into something meaningful over time. Because the truth is, during a recession, the people who are the most financially secure aren't just the ones who save the most. They're the ones who earn from more than one place. That flexibility, that cushion, it gives you options when others have none. So as we brace for whatever 2025 may bring, think beyond saving. Ask yourself, what's one small way I can start diversifying my income this year? You don't need to do it all at once, but starting now could make all the difference later. With talk of a possible 2025 recession growing louder, now is the time to take a hard look at your investments. You don't need to panic, but you do need a plan. 1. Rebalance your portfolio. Are you too exposed to high-risk assets like tech stocks or crypto? Consider shifting toward more defensive sectors like healthcare, utilities, or consumer staples, industries that hold up better during downturns. 2. Add stability with bonds and dividends. Government bonds and high-quality dividend-paying stocks can provide stability and income when markets get rough. They won't make you rich overnight, but they can cushion your portfolio. 3. Know your risk tolerance. Recessions test your emotional limits. Ask yourself, how much volatility can you handle? If a 20% drop makes you want to sell everything, you might be too aggressive for your comfort zone. Track every dollar. You can't cut what you don't know you're spending. Start by tracking every dollar you spend for 30 days. Use apps, spreadsheets, or even pen and paper. Look for patterns and identify where money is leaking. 2. Cancel subscriptions. You don't use streaming services, unused gym memberships, and random app subscriptions can quietly eat into your budget. Cancel or pause any service you're not actively using. You can always resubscribe later if you really miss it. 3. Eat at home more takeout, and dining out can cost 2 to 3 times more than cooking at home. Meal prepping, using leftovers, and planning your grocery list can save you hundreds every month. Bonus, you eat healthier too. Set a 24-hour rule for non-essential purchases. Impulse buys are budget killers. If you see something you want, wait 24 hours. Most of the time, the urge will pass, and you'll keep your money. If this helped you understand finance just a little bit better, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and drop your questions in the comments below. I break down complex financial news in simple words every week. Remember, the world of money isn't just for Wall Street, it's for you. Keep learning, keep asking questions, and I'll see you in the next video.